Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to another video. So, I had a dream last night that Blizzard answered my call and did some adjustments to some classes in PvP. If you haven't checked the last video out, make sure to go check that out. That is more PvE uh, oriented when it came to some of the hot fixes that they're dropping today. But about, I would say, almost 4 hours ago, there were more hot fixes that were ran out, as you can see, that are going to be rolling in today, reset day. As you can see, the headliner in return PvP hot fixes: Havoc, Demon Hunter, and Shadow Priest nerfs. Now, that's like the super big headline right now. Demon Hunters are running a little bit crazy in PvP, well as Shadow Priest survivability damage that they put out on a CC that they're able to do, as well as, spitting out this crazy damage, right? So, you know, it's crazy that we're looking for certain things in order to bring some balance to the game, recognizes it, and they're gonna bring us a little something. But before we go ahead and get into the video, if you like what you hear, like what you see, or interested in some of the content that I've posted in the past, make sure to go ahead and leave a like down below, subscribe to your boy, and then be here for videos. All right, but without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get right into this video. But first, we take a sip of my McDonald's coffee that tastes like sewage water. Yeah, still tastes bad. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, boom, Blizzard PvP. In addition to previously announced changes coming with the weekly reset for PvE and raid tuning, Blizzard posted a list of PvP changes. These changes address PvP outliers like Shadow Priest and Havoc Demon. So, hey man, y'all about to get addressed. So, if hopefully it's nothing too harsh. I would never want anything to get nerfed into the ground. Go ahead and put that out. I would never ever want anything to get nerfed to the. This is a video game. People play these games to have fun, have a good time. It's life. You would never want something that you enjoy to do just get hammer danced. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Class Demon Hunter, and these are all things going to be with the weekly restart, which is today. So I won't keep repeating. Demon Hunter, soul rending leech bonus reduced by 40% in PvP. Oh, that is crazy. That is bananas. Listen, soul rending already alone is just crazy as a. So for them to nerf it 40% in PvP for the leech is major. Cutting out some of the survivability is 40%. That's a big chunk. Okay, overall, but Havoc, Glimpse, PvP talent damage reduction reduced to 35% with 75%. Wow. 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 That's a 40%. Wow. Essence break damage bonus from Chaos Strike and Blade Dance reduced by 37.5% PvP combat. Overrun damage reduced by 16.7% PvP combat. That's tough. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. Developer notes: we have noticed Havoc Demon Hunter overperforming in several facets of PvP, including personal survivability, burst damage, and overall DPS. We take action to reduce their effectiveness in these areas while still aiming to keep them competitive. I definitely 100% agree on my end. I've come across a lot of D. There's a lot of abilities that just keep them. They just keep rolling. Like they never stop. Like between dark, blur, got all these different things that just keep them alive, as well as their comp, and the damage never stops. They don't have to sacrifice anything but a global, keep their comp alive, and completely destroy you. So for them to bring these numbers down, I hope once again, I hope this is something that doesn't just cripple them, right? That just makes them unplayable. I still think they're going to be crazy strong, especially if you run it with the right comp. Like you want your composition to. You don't want to be carried. I never want to be carried by someone in my group because they're playing something that's completely busted, right? I want the comp to work. But hopefully this is nothing that cripples them. My boy Eats, love you, bro. This might hurt you a little bit, but I know you're gonna bounce back from it. Evoker preservation, energy loops, mana regeneration reduced by 25% PvP. Developer note: energy loops mana restoration has been overperforming compared to its contribution in PvP. PvE due to game-wide reduced mana regen within PvP instances. We're adjusting this to bring it in line with expected benefits, but still want this effect to remain a powerful option as we feel it may lead to killing decision making with essence. I can see why they're doing this. From what I've seen, from a healer standpoint as well, uh, preservation, evokers, mana is crazy, and they can put some heals out like big time. So with them having a higher basically mana pool to work with, depends on the duration of the fight comp that you're running against. It's really hard to after you CD as a DPS to go ahead and just put somebody down because the output on heals is absurd, and then they get this mana regen back on top of it. It's going to be hard to keep. So I don't think that's anything that's going to be too crazy or push them out of S tier when it comes to as a arcane mage, arcane. Cypher Storm's effectiveness has been reduced by 50% in PvP. Developer knows Cypher Storm has been a culprit for one-shot scenarios, so we're adjusting its effectiveness down heavily. Understand that you don't want to get one shot. You still can get one shot, but you want to reduce the rate and the chance of getting one shot. So I can definitely respect that. I don't see a lot of arcane mages in PvP, but I can definitely respect the just. Frost mage, with weekly reduced glacier spikes damage increase from mastery ice circles by 25%. This will be reflected in the tooltip in a later. Developer notes Siphon Storm has been a culprit for one shot scenarios. Okay, so do the same thing that it did for Arcane. Definitely understand. I feel Glacial Spike is dangerous. It's one of those abilities that have time to adjust to it, maybe on it, maybe kick it, ground it, things like that, stun it. But when it hits you, right? Um, and I think with some of the other buffs that they bring it to Frost as well, with Frostbolt and things like that, this might be warranted of why they're doing this, because if every button that they hit it just hurts. I can see why they're gonna adjust like a big hitter, right? You don't want your filler to feel like it's literally just wasting a button, and then you don't want your big ability KO and everything it's right. But I feel like 25%, and I get it. I think it's gonna be fine. I really don't see me that much anymore. Unk. All right, blackout kick damage increased by 30% in PvP combat was 15, and then Tiger's palm damage increased by 30% was 15. Okay, I feel like Mistweaver is about to really come through with this. Mistweaver, Rising Sun Kick damage now deals 12.5 additional damage in PvP with 25. Oh no, they're crippling it. Developers notes. We are looking to offset the incoming PvE buffs to Rising Sun Kick as we think it currently hits hard enough to be effective for Mistweaver. Uh, Maybe the buffs are going to balance this out. Just never want to see this happen. Like, you're already putting yourself at enough risk if you're going in as a healer to try to DPS, try to keep your comp alive, to try to CC and things like that. Want to feel effective. If you're in there, like, you want to feel effective while you're in. Um, so basically, almost in half, um, they're cutting it for PvP. But with the additional buffs, like they said, that we have already from a PvE standpoint, that's going to affect Rising Sun Kick. I think it's going to balance this up. Windwalker, Thunder Fist damage reduced by 40% in PvP combat. Sky Reach increases critical strike chance by 30% in PvP combat was 50, so 20% nerf. Sphere damage increased by 15% combat. Developer notes Windwalker Burst has continued to be above a level we're comfortable with. We're targeting Thunder Fist and Sky Reach as they have been large contributors to this. We're also increasing the sustained damage as we feel there's room for that to improve as their burst is 100% agree with that. Burst is cool. I think burst should be very small when between Windwalker, Fury Warrior, H. Those are like the top three melees that come to my mind. That like once they Unholy DK. Once they put the gas on, like either you die or you prolong your death. Like it's super hard to really like get out of that burst damage when it comes to these classes right now. And they're super sticky. It's sometimes there's no way of getting away. You die or you just prolonging your death, right? So I think them burst with Walker is a good move. Shadow Priest Flash healing is increased by 30%. Was 20%. I rocks with that because Holy Priest boy over here. Holy healing is increased by 30% in PvP combat with 25%, so a 10% increase. And then Holy Word Serenity healing is increased by 15% in PvP combat. Okay, here we go. Developing those. Holy received PvP reductions in casted healing effectiveness in previous patches that we now feel are unnecessary and are reverting. We also feel Holy Word Serenity has not been as effective as we would like it to be at handling burst damage, so we're increasing that as well. Totally agree with that as well. With the amount of damage that is rolling out right now when it comes to these double melee comps, you need an oh crap button when it comes to like, oh, I'm getting bursted. I need something right now that can stabilize me, keep me alive in order to progress the match, right? Um, and if you can't cast a heal because you have two melee on your back, you get blanket silenced by Shadow, get stun locked by a Fury Warrior, anything else out here, um, you need something that's going to be like give you at least one shot, right? So I think with them, Holy Word Serenity, I think that's a good move. And then them reverting and buffing healing is going to be great as well. And also Flash Heal. Maybe we're going to see some Holy Priest rolling around. Maybe you'll see myself, Holy Priest. You'll see it. Shadow Word death damage reduced by 30% PvP for Shadow only was 20%. All right, so uh, disc Holy, if you're going into Shadow Word death, you would not be affected by it. Mind Blast damage reduced 25% in PvP, Shadow only. Mind Spike damage reduced 25% in PvP. Iron Plague 25%. Big Touch 25%. Um, was reduced by 5%. Was increased by 10%. The trigger rate of Shadowy Insight has been reduced by 25% while in PvP combat. The trigger rate of Surge of Darkness has been reduced by 25% in PvP combat. So I already know what's going on here, right? Shadow Priests have been a bane when it comes to Shadow Priest has been the caster, right? Without great damage. They have stun, they have fear, blanket silence, they for themselves, they have void shift for aids. They have everything, right? Their toolkit is very solid all the way around. And I think they're just starting to realize this and like really tone these. Because if you look at like the casters that are in PvP right now, and you look at the ladders, Shadow Priest is kind of crazy right now. At least from the rating that I'm at, Shadow Priest is pretty nuts. So for them to be bringing these numbers down, I think we're gonna have to see how Shadow survives in the meta. I still think it's gonna be just fine. It's gonna find a comp that is gonna be just great. And if not, Blizz, they've been doing a good job. They'll make sure to adjust these numbers. Developer notes: Shadow Priest has been widely overperforming, so we are looking to offset recent PvE buffs to them and reduce their power defensively through changes to focus will. We're also reducing the instant proc damage availability as we feel Shadow Priests do not have to hard cast spells as often as it would like them to. Definitely get that. Get Mind Spike to proc and be instant cast. You can get Mind Blast to proc and be cast. All you got to do is Vampiric Touch. You have both your dots up. Shadow Word Death is still crazy. So yeah, I definitely agree with them reducing defensively on that. Rogue. Improved Garrote damage bonus reduced by 40% in PvP combat. Iron Wire damage reduction has a PvP duration of 4 seconds was 8 seconds. Development notes on this: assassination spread in single target Garrote pressure has been very high. We're targeting this by decreasing the effectiveness of improved Garrote. Iron Wire's damage reduction effect has also felt too potent at preventing enemy pressure. Definitely can understand. Now, I just glimpsed Warlock. Just glimpsed it, and I saw it was demo. And I hope they're not nerfing demo into the ground. That's literally my most favorite spec. Okay, here we go. Demonic Strength unleashes a Failstorm that deals 150% increased damage in PvP combat, down from 400. Oh, that is terrible. Demon Fire's damage reduced by 75% in PvP combat. Dreadbite damage reduced by 10% PvP combat. Developer notes. We feel Demonic Strength can be a difficult spell to notice and has little counterplay compared to Demonic Tyrant and his associated Demon Fire cast. We're looking to adjust Demonology's burst sources while aiming to keep them at the same relative power. We also want to slightly reduce Demonology's overall pressure by targeting Dreadbite. I get it. By reading it and seeing it, I get it. Especially if it's something that's like almost you can't prevent or you can't see, it's just hard to track. I get why they're nerfing the damage. I don't like the thought of they wanting to reduce Demonology's overall pressure, because most of their pressure they still have to cast. They have to be in line in order for this to happen, right? So I get what they're saying. With Demon Fire, I think they should have, if they're gonna nerf Demon Fire as hard as they did, and Failstorm, I think they should have left Red Bites 10%. But that's okay. That's all right. Warrior, we got Warrior. Got Warrior. Defensive stance now reduces damage done by 15%. Was 20% in PvP combat. Okay, so they didn't get top too bad. All right, defensive stance was adjusted in previous patches to damage issue. We no longer feel are present for Warrior. We're increasing damage done in defensive stance to help increase their offensive pressure without affecting them defensive. I get that. I think that's okay, especially for arms, right? Doesn't affect Fury too much because Fury can heal through most of the damage that it takes, right? Of course, it can still go defensive stance. So it can still go defensive stance, still put out the pressure now with this, on top of gushing wounds, top of just rampage be nuts, and them just being a heal for a ton. So I think this is definitely going to benefit arms that are not feeling completely have to switch defensive stance. I think that's going to be a good. But that is all. Overall, I feel like Shadow Priest had to get touched in a way. They had to be. They're they're pretty nuts. Windwalker, I get it. Um, and even with Demon Hunter, I feel yeah they're kind of tough. Surprisingly though, I'm shocked that we don't see Unholy D at all, because Unholy is Holy DK pretty good. But I guess we'll have to see how the meta shakes up with this reset today. We'll just have to wait and find out. But do appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below. Comment down below and let me know how you are feeling about Dragonflight and these buffs and or nerfs, and if your class has been affected by any of these things.